Brat child. Did you ever clean a house where there was a brat child present? We're going to talk a little bit about that today, and as a house cleaner, what you can do to protect yourself. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's show is brought to us by housecleaning360.com. So if you need a house cleaner, you need a carpet cleaner, you need a window washer, you need a professional organizer, housecleaning360.com has your back. All right, now on to our show today, which is about the brat child. If you have a question for the show, you can go over to askahousecleaner.com. There's a little blue button in the corner. You can click on that and just start recording like you're recording me a voice message. And it sends your message right to me here at the show. Or you can email me at angela@askahousecleaner.com. All right, today I have an email from a house cleaner, and I'm going to read it to you because there's a lot of content in here that I don't want to miss when I'm giving you my answer. This one says, "Hello, Angela, and good morning from Fort Lauderdale. I have a housekeeper question. I've encountered many strange difficulties working with clients over these past 7 years. Yesterday's encounter topped them all. My client's teenage daughter is a very spoiled child. Rather than teach her to respect them or their things, they just give her more, creating a monster. She recently kicked down her bedroom door because she didn't get what she wanted. And yesterday, while I was cleaning their home, she arrived and stormed into the bedroom. She was screaming at the top of the lungs, 'Where's my—' and then there are many expletives here on this page that I won't read. Yesterday, while I was cleaning their home, she yelled for her father. Her father's not the proudest, let's say. Then she continues to scream that I'm a retarded, ignorant maid and that I steal her stuff, and then many more expletives. And she's saying this to my face at this point. I had a moment of white flash come over me, and I asked myself, are you going to let this happen without reaction? Let's just say I made it clear I won't be disrespected by her. I texted the parents and I told them that I will not continue to help them if their child is anywhere near this home. I have a pristine reputation and I can't jeopardize that with an out-of-control child. It's incredible the things we encounter to make money, and I would love to hear your input on this type of encounter and wonder if you might find this a subject for one of your videos." All right, there are a couple of things at play here, and the very first one that I want to bring to your attention is the fact that this sort of behavior from a brat child is not news to the parents. A parent who has a brat child is very well aware of the fact that their child is a brat child. The reason they hired you to be the house cleaner or the maid is because house cleaning is not on their priority list. Now, a couple of years ago, we had a troubled 15-year-old that was gifted to us, literally dropped on our doorstep, and my husband and I were invited to finish raising her because she was, in fact, a brat child. She was the type of kid that would punch her head through drywall and would throw things and break things and was just very destructive and violent, and no one could live in the same space with her. And so I'm very, very well aware of the brat child and the behavior and the chaos they can cause in your life. So the parents, they are spending 24/7 trying to manage this brat child. They are very, very well aware, and that's why they hired you. All right, now as the house cleaner coming into the house, your job is this, and let's be very clear about your job. Your job is not to rescue the parents. Your job is not to rescue the child. Whatever is going on in that household was already going on there before you arrived. And so your job is to come in and clean and go home. That is your job. Unless you are a licensed therapist, and unless you are trained to deal with the special needs of a troubled child, this is not your job, okay? So if you get involved, you are going to be in way over your head. I promise you that. All right, so having said that, let's say this. You get to a house and there's a brat child, and the child is volatile and violent and yelling and screaming and cursing. Get your stuff and get out. Don't pass go, don't collect your $200. Get your stuff and get out. Like I said, the parents are well aware of this situation, and you will be able to resolve this with the parents and you will still get paid. But here's the problem. If you stay and engage with the child, anything you say or do can be held against you in court. And so if the child strikes you and you strike back, that you are in their home, okay? This is not them attacking you first and you defending yourself. You are in their home. This is their home. This is their property. It's your word against their word. Now, there may already be a history. There may already be a file on this volatile child, but you don't want to be part of it. So just get your stuff and leave. Go to safety. Now, if you have employees that are working for you and there's a volatile child in the house that threatens you, and I have personally been in a situation in a house where there was a brat child that threatened my life, was going to blow off my face and kill all my employees. So the very first thing that happens is get your team and get to safety. Because in that type of scenario, it's not just you with the brat child, but now you are dealing with you and your employees. Your employee can come back and sue you for emotional damage because you put them in a situation where there was emotional damage type things happening. All right, so you don't want that either. So you need to have a meeting with your employees and with your staff to begin with in this type of scenario. And don't wait till it happens to make up the rules. Make up the rules in advance of this type of situation. So when this type of situation happens, you immediately recognize it and you all know what plan B is. Get your stuff and get to safety. We'll figure this out later. But I don't want any of you as house cleaners or any of your staff to be in a place of danger. All right, so the person is calling you names. You are this, that, and the other. Let's be very clear about what names are. Names are just words. And I deal with this every single day in house cleaning. I don't know why, but there are house cleaners that call each other names. There are clients that call house cleaners names. And there are house cleaners that are very thin-skinned and they take this personally. They're just words. Don't add any emotion to the words. If somebody is calling you nasty things, so they called you nasty things. They're just words. Because this doesn't mean, because they called you a nasty name, that that's true. If she calls you a dumb, ignorant, retarded maid, that does not mean that's what you are. That just means that's what she called you. She used some words and directed them at you. That's all that is. All right, now that we've peeled the emotion out of that scenario, let's look at this. She said, I had a moment of white flash come over me. Okay, that's huge. And I'm going to ask you to respect that moment. In any moment when you're cleaning house and you have a moment of white flash come over you, that means you get so angry that your blood starts boiling and now you go into what's called fight or flight mode. It's when all of your adrenaline kicks in. Yeah, you took this personally. And now you're really angry, and whatever you do next can and will be held against you in a court of law. Okay? So whenever you have that feeling and that just flash of white come over you, stop. Just stop. We call it halt. Don't make any decision, big, small, whatever, or reaction when you are hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. Now, having said that, house cleaners most of the time live in that space. They are hungry, they are angry, they are lonely, and they are tired. That's what being a house cleaner is. It comes with the territory, right? So just stop. Just stop and say, okay, I am not in a position right now to react to the emotions that I'm feeling. So again, stop and slow down because you're about to do something reactive. And I don't want you to react, I want you to respond. And there's a huge difference. So you can respond by when you go white with anger. She said, I made it very clear I will not be disrespected. Okay, that is not your job. That is not your job to make it very clear that, hey, I'm the house cleaner and I am not going to be. Don't engage. When you feel that moment of flash come over and you get so angry that you can't respond in a polite manner, don't respond at all. Just stop. Just stop and take a really deep breath and remove yourself from the situation because nothing you say is going to be wise. Nothing. Especially if you have a brat child of your own because in that moment, whatever you do will let them know that they've hit a hot button with you. Oh, that's how that works. Then they want to get mad at you and they want to pay you back and they want to get even with you at another time. They will trigger that hot button all over again to see if they can make another white flash come over your face. See if they can get you in that space where now you will engage and you will fight with them. So if you disengage and you remove yourself from the situation, there's no fight. It has to diffuse itself because there's no fight. All right, moving on. She makes a note in her email that she will not work there while the child is there. All right, as a house cleaner, that's a lovely thing to say, but you have zero control over that. The parents have zero control over that, because even if the child is instructed to be in school during the day, they can refuse not to go at any time. And I will tell you this by experience. The child that's being the brat child exercises all kinds of control that they don't have. So if you're scheduled to come at a particular time and the brat child is not supposed to be there, it's very possible they will still be there. So my suggestion to you is this. There's a very finite amount of time that you have as a house cleaner where you can actually work on accounts, because we all only have 24 hours in a day. And if you're spending a chunk of your day or a chunk of your week at a house where there is a brat child, that may not be the best use of your time. And so if there's volatility there, if there's damage, if there's destruction, if there's anger, if there's cursing, if there are threats, this is a situation where you may be better off to say goodbye to that customer and move on. Go find a new customer, because this is a house of chaos and it is uncontrollable what may happen to you or your team. Now, I don't like this situation because having been in this situation, I could have really used a good housekeeper to have my back, that could have cleaned my house while I was in therapy and I was dealing with the brat child we were trying to take care of. But the reality is this: you don't want to put yourself or your team in harm's way. And so if you have a situation like this and you have a pristine reputation, protect your reputation by going and finding another customer. And the situation, whatever it is with the client, they're going to have to figure that out, but it's not your job to figure it out for them. And the less you get involved in their personal drama, the happier you're going to be as a business owner. Because when you get sucked into all of that chaos, that is a situation that is very hard to remove yourself from. All right, now I'm really sorry that this happened to you. It's not a good situation by any shred of the imagination, but if I can encourage you to do one thing, it's don't engage, protect your team, and remove yourself from this type of recurring situation. Because a brat child is a brat child, and that's going to need to be dealt with by a whole different series of professionals that are in a position to try to manage the damage and control of that chaos. Alrighty, that's my 2 cents for today, and until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.